everyone, it's Lizzie from Lizzie's World of Gems. Welcome back to my channel. It is Bling Bling Wednesday. How is everybody on this hump day? I'm feeling fantastic this morning. I'm going to do a thing. So this is as much as I got left to do on this painting. I do have another one for Bling Bling Wednesday. I got it and it was friend mail and I unboxed it and I erased the video. So I will bring it out and show you it when it comes time to do it. It was graciously given to me by Susan. So that is going to be our next Bling Bling Wednesday. Okay. I am going to I'm going to do a thing. I'm just going to peel back this whole section. And I'm going to do it sideways. Should I do that much? That's an awful lot. I think I'm going to go up to here. Bring my butterfly over, hold it down. So how is everybody on this Wednesday? I missed a crystal there. It fell out. I have to get ready. There will be pauses in this video, just letting you forewarn you now, because you know why? I have a very warm, nice coffee in my possession. So we're going to start with 310 as per always. You know me. I always start with 310 just to get it out of the way, I think. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I start with 310. So this week has been all right. I worked all last weekend, so I didn't get to go on the Zoom call, which I was kind of sad because I really wanted to, but I was at work. I don't think everybody wanted to see me with my hairnet and my face mask on at work. So I did not join the Zoom call. It probably would have been comical. They probably would have got a chuckle if they had seen me like that. But hopefully I can join in this week's Zoom call. We'll have to see what my agenda is for Saturday. But I'm super excited because I work today, as you guys are watching this, and Thursday, and then I'm off for 7 whole days, guys. 7 days! I'm super excited. I need this holiday so bad. I know that people have been off work and haven't worked and wish they were at work, but I've been working this whole time through this whole pandemic. And I just need a break. So I am going to enjoy every single last minute of it. The only thing about the Star Wars is I've been finding a lot of half pieces. A lot of half pieces I've been finding. So I have this jar, and the sad part about this jar is that it has all 4 paintings I'm working in. There's gems in it. Yeah, so that is what that mess looks like, because every time I do a painting, there is always gems on my table. I don't know if I'm the only one that has gems all over their table when they're working on a painting, but I tend to drop it on the painting, then when I wipe the painting off, I feel the gems coming. Yeah, it's a thing. I need more patty wax. I'm not prepared, guys. I'm not prepared to this morning. I was feeling more energetic than I am right this second before I started filming this. Today is Tuesday. Obviously, I have to record early. So I have a live today. So I want to try to get this section done before the live, because the live I'm going to be working on my Hooligan. I worked on it all day yesterday, guys, and I only got one section and a half. The confetti is unreal. So, yeah. That's what's happening with that. Someone just went to the washroom. I don't know who. Because it didn't look up. Not that I care. So, everybody grab your whips and let's just sit here and chit-chat for a while. I'm not sure what I'm going to chit-chat about because, yeah, life is pretty boring. I went to the grocery store yesterday. Ventured out. Went and got some groceries. Was so super happy because there was not a lineup when I went. Because it's super cold outside and I'm happy that there wasn't a lineup. Like, what is up with snow in May? And this morning I got up to go get a Timmy's and there's frost on the ground. And I'm like, what the heck, people? Can't the weather just be nice? That's all I'm asking for, is nice. Then my friend was like, oh, I hope my plants don't die. And I'm like, oh, don't you know the rule, Mo? You don't plant before May 24. If you're not from Canada and you don't know what May 24 is, it's Victoria Day weekend, which is this weekend coming up. And we call it May 24 because this is what, like, with this social distancing and everything going down, I don't know how this May 24 is going to actually look, because May 24 weekend, everybody goes to the bend. So, where I live in southwestern Ontario, and we have beaches, but our beaches are on the Great Lakes. So, Lake Huron is where we all tend to go to the beach. There is Port Stanley, and it's on Lake Erie, but I think it's icky gross. I don't like the water from Lake Erie. I think it's dirty, and I don't like going to Port Stanley. I barely ever go. It's by St. Thomas, and that's another reason why I don't really go, because it's so close to St. Thomas. But anyways, everybody tends to go to the Bend or to April Wash. It's the main beaches around this area, but the main happening place is Grand Bend on May 24 weekend. Everybody goes. The main drag is packed with cars. You can't walk, like, you can't go anywhere. Your cars get towed if you try to pull over and park anywhere. And a lot of people go to the Pinery, which is a provincial park, camping. Now, I know the provincial parks are open, but just for daytime use. And you're not allowed to sit in benches. You're not allowed to sit at the picnic tables. And you're only allowed to go for walks, jogs, biking, stuff like that through the parks. You're not allowed to be in a group more than 5 people, and you have to social distance from everybody else, blah 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 blah. So I don't think May 24, unless people just go down there for a drive in their car, is going to be happening. They also have a market, and I kind of like, sometimes I like the market, sometimes it's like the same old at the Bend, but they have a market there on the weekends that I like to go to in the summertime. The last time I went there, I didn't find anything really appealing, but I do like going to markets, going for a drive, a Sunday drive or a Saturday drive in the summertime, going up to the lake. It's nice. It's a nice feeling. It's not like we have the ocean, so we can't go to the ocean, but the Great Lakes is the next best thing. And I remember people coming from Portugal to visit, and they would go to the Great Lakes, and they were amazed how big a freshwater lake was. Like, it kind of looks like the ocean because you can't see the other end. It's kind of amazing how the Great Lakes are so huge. Of course, we don't think about that because we take it for granted, right? But yeah, it'll be interesting to find out what's going to happen this weekend. They're urging people not to go to the cottages, but yeah, try to stop people from going to their cottages. I don't think it's going to happen. Yesterday I made Portuguese chicken. Tried to attempt to make it. It didn't turn out too bad, but I think I should have done it in a bigger dish. But anyways, I needed a beer to make it, and I don't drink beer, and neither does Tyler. So we had to venture out to the beer store, and this guy comes out of his car with so many empties. I'm like, holy crappers. Drink much? He had like 2 clear gigantic bags of just empty cans, and I'm like, oh my goodness. That's a lot of beer. It's a lot of beer. I think I'm going to do A next, which is 3371. Another kind of dark color, because she's a dark girl. She's dark. She's dark. Yeah, so I went and got my beer, and it didn't turn out too bad, but it kind of dried out a little bit. I don't know. I think I cooked it too long. There must be another bag of this because I'm getting really low on this. And there better be another bag of this. Yeah, there is another bag of this. I was gonna say. There's more 3371 in this painting than actually 310, believe it or not. It is a true story. I wouldn't lie to you. I wouldn't lie to you guys. It's one thing that I will never do is lie to you guys. Everything on my channel is always the truth. I never have to plead the fifth. Might plead the fifth about my love life, but nothing else. But what love life, Liz? Let's get serious. Let's get serious. Remember that song? It's physical, actually. Let's get physical, physical. Who sings that again? Oh. I want to say Blondie, but I don't think it is. She has blonde hair. That's all I remember. Oh, I have a gem stuck on my pen and it won't come off. That's the thing about super sticky wax. The Patty Wax SS. Sometimes it's so sticky, your gem won't come off your pen. But you know, it's because I press so hard. Maybe if I press lighter. I gotta learn how to press lighter. I don't know, I just got into this. When I first started diamond painting, I did diamond paint very lightly. Like just put the gems down very lightly. And then as time went by, my hands started getting heavier and heavier. I love the 4-placer. It's like my favorite placer in the world. So someone left a comment on my page about what do my diamond paintings look like sealed after like she said 3 years. I don't think I have 3 years, but I know I have at least 2 years worth of sealed paintings. So I will show. I don't even remember how long I've been diamond painting. It's been 2 years, right? I don't even remember. A year and a bit. but I will show you what they look like, the ones that I did seal a long time ago. It feels like an eternity ago, but it might not be. I think they're at least 2 years. So I will show you guys that on Diamond Painting 101. I'll show you what they look like. I think that's what my segment's going to be this week. I've not filmed it yet, but I will at some point today. I will. I was hoping I was going to be having an unboxing, and it said it was out for delivery yesterday, and yeah, if they delivered it, they did not deliver it to my house. That's all I have to say. So let's see, maybe they were just behind because, you know, the mail has kind of been silly, and maybe I'll come today. The only thing that seems to come on time is Amazon. That's not Canada Post. So that would be why, right? But we'll see. Oh, Gigi's snoring this morning. Comfortable on his pillow. Snoring away. I think they're mad at me because I made them sleep in their bed last night. I had to take a coffee break. Coffee break, kind of like a Kit Kat break, but a coffee break. Or, oh, a coffee crisp. I like coffee crisps. They are yummy. They're chocolate, they taste like coffee, and they're kind of in a wafer. It's a chocolate bar. It's good, and I like it. And I'm pretty sure they don't sell it in the US, but I could be wrong, but I don't think they do. I think Coffee Crisp is a Canadian thing, but I could be wrong. What else do I have to say today? I am super excited about tomorrow because we get King of the Pigs, which is it's a Portuguese restaurant here in Strathroy, and my work is buying us lunch from there. Last week the last time they had a lunch, I called in sick. And it was from Tia's Place, which is another Portuguese restaurant in town. No, we don't just have Portuguese restaurants in this town. We actually do have other restaurants, but just happens to be that the two that I'm talking about are the Portuguese restaurants in town. There's actually 3 Portuguese restaurants in town. There is the Duke is funny. It says it's Irish pub with Portuguese style, it's called. Which is really weird for them to say that, but yeah. There's the Duke, and then there's Tia's, and then there's the King of the Pigs. Those are the 3 Portuguese restaurants in this town. And I go to Tia's a lot. Well, I used to when it was open. Me and Helen would go there for breakfast all the time. Breakfast is my favorite there. And it's pretty reasonably priced. I used to go to Roy's a lot, but they changed management because the lady sold it. Her husband passed away, and she kept it going for a while, but then she finally sold it. And I don't really care for the new owners, and they jacked up the prices a bit. So I don't like going there anymore. Me and Mo go there sometimes for lunch, but very rarely when we decide that we don't want to go to Tia's. We have gone to the Duke a couple times, but the Duke can get pricey too. But the Duke has such good food too. I like their pulled pork poutine. It's really, really yummy. If you haven't had a poutine, I suggest you have one. There's nothing like a real poutine from Quebec or Montreal, like, you know, Quebec, the province of Quebec. But I tell you, poutines are the bomb. I remember one time watching Grandma Brennan's video, he was bragging about this poutine he had in Philly or something, and he called it a poutine, and I looked at it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that is not a poutine. What are you talking about? That is, it looked like it was, what do you call those things? Those tater tots with some kind of cheese on top of it, and I don't even know if it even had darn gravy. I think it did. I don't know. But I'm like looking at it, and I even like left a message like, that is not a poutine. And then he said in another video, oh, I didn't mean to offend the Canadians with my poutine. No, that is not a poutine. You have not had a poutine until you come to Canada. And I so wanted him to come to Canada for the vape conventions before there was no more. And he did not come. And it made me super sad, because that would have been my dream, is to meet him. You don't even understand how much of a crush I had on that man. Not only that, like, he inspired me to quit smoking. If you want to quit smoking, like, I don't know about so much now watching his videos, because he does a lot of lives now. It seems like that's all he does. Like, I still have him on my YouTube, and I still follow him. And I used to be one of his Patreons. But when I had my surgery, I kind of gave up, because like when I signed up for Patreon, it's in American dollars, right? So after it gets converted, the Canadian exchange, it's more than, I think I was in the $10 tier. So it ends up being more than $10. And he has so many followers. I would never win the $2 deal box. But I used to follow Patreon for him and Ruby Roo. And she's like another vaping YouTuber. She's female. She has her own juice line. I really liked Ruby Roo. She was pretty awesome. The older videos tend to teach you more about vaping if you're into vaping, because I know someone asked me about wanting to quit smoking and vaping. But I suggest watch or buy a system and then just watch the video. That's how I ended up starting my passion of watching YouTube videos about vaping. Is I bought a system and I wanted to know the ins and outs about the system. And I just punched it into YouTube, and there was a video on it, and I would watch it. And then that's how I found all my vaping buddies on YouTube. Like, before, vaping was a lot of, it was kind of like the diamond painting community, but instead of the diamond painting community, it was the vaping community in Canada. Everybody knew everybody. Like, there was the people that you just knew that owned juice lines. You would go to the conventions, you would hang out, you would have a blast. I actually got to work the vape convention in Ottawa. That was a super blast. I really enjoyed that. I thank Jake so much for giving me the opportunity to help him with that convention. But like, I just wish like there was Dimitri and Phil there. There are other two big YouTubers, but they always came, but Grim Green never came. And then the one year he said, I think this is the year I'm going to come to Canada, but that's when the regulations started coming. And I'm like, if he even comes, he'd only be able to go to Edmonton, and that is way too far for me to even travel to go, even for Grim Green. Like, but he didn't end up going anyway. I think that's the year he got married, actually. I don't know. But he got married to Pickles. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. So depressed. He used to be married, then he got divorced, and then he remarried again. And he he doesn't have a job. He just does YouTube, and he owns his own juice line. And I don't know what he's doing now because, like I said, I don't really watch him anymore because the diamond painting community has taken over my feed on YouTube, and I basically watch. And he goes on, usually when Wolfpack goes on, he goes on live, and his lives are like 300 to 400 people in the chat, and it's just, don't even want to follow it, you know what I mean, like, or watch it. I don't know, maybe someday I will start watching it again, but right now I don't really want to. Don't fancy to watch because the government has took away the fun of vaping. You know, it used to be a blast to go to convention and the vape and try all the different juices and go to all the different booths. It was a blast. Now, you can't even do that. I just wish that the government would leave us alone. But you know what it is? They're not making a profit off of us like they do with tobacco. You know what I mean? And big pharma is losing out because people are vaping instead of buying the drugs to quit smoking. I used to work for big pharma. Not no more. That's how I know that everything in the vape juice is food grade product. It is in your medication, like propylene glycol and glycerin are in your gel capsules. You digest them. When you have asthma and you go to the hospital for an asthma treatment, there's propylene glycol in the vapor that they put in your lungs with the medication. Like, I don't even know how to explain to you that it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm putting him on D's and this is B's. Okay guys, I just messed up. See, I started getting chatty happy. And instead of putting it on B's, I'm putting it on D's. Oh, darn it. How much did I do here? Where's my tweezers? Okay, now we gotta fix the boo-boo. See? I start getting chatty and I mess up. I know these were all B's. No, that's a D. What the heck, Liz? Okay. I totally messed up. I put them all on the D's. And the B's are all around it. Oh dear. No, that is actually an A. Okay. So now we got to clean this up. Maybe I'll pause and fix this and have some coffee. I'm back. Now let's see if I can actually put these on the right spot. There's some bees right there. Geez, I don't know what I was thinking. I was just chatting away. And definitely not putting them on the right spot. I don't even think D is a dark color, Liz. My mind, I tell you, my mind. So, I was gonna say something, and now I got a brain fart. Do you guys ever get that? Where you're gonna think of something to say, and then when it comes down to it, you forget it. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Do any of your dogs think they're a cat and sleep on the top of the couch, like on the ledge of the couch? Cause yeah, that's my Lola. She thinks she's a cat. And yesterday it was so funny. It snowed here, and I think I said in my video I went out because I didn't care, and I went out to Tim Hortons with my sandals on, whatever. Today there's no snow on the ground, but if there's frost from last night. But anyways, yesterday when the dogs were gonna go out, Lola did not want to go out. Like, I opened up the door and she looked outside, and then she looks at me, and then she turns around and starts walking away. And I'm like, no. You got to go outside. So I had to pick her up. She was not impressed with me at all that I put her outside. It's like they get to the patio door and they get like super anxious. And as soon as they run out, they start barking. Like, there's nothing even to be barking at. They just do it. Like, it's a daily routine for those two. And I just don't understand it. I'm super bad when I call them in. I'm like, Tweedledee, Tweedledum, let's go. And they come. They come every time I say that. Or I'll say, do you want a treat? And they'll pipe up. Yeah, we want a treat. So they come running back in. Sometimes they just don't want to leave the backyard. I have such a big backyard for them to run around and play. Usually Lola beats up Gigi while they're out there. My neighbor always says, that Lola, she's so mean to Gigi. She like pins him down out there. And I'm like, yeah, but Gigi just takes it. He doesn't care. But she does pin him down. She tries to show him who's boss because she thinks she's the boss. She's the boss in the relationship. That's what she thinks anyway. Gigi's a pretty happy-go-lucky dog. He don't care. He don't care much about anything as long as he can snore. As long as he can get his Z's in, he's happy. But yeah, I don't want to go to work. Anybody want to go to work for me? It's only 12 hours. It's only 12 hours. That's all you got to do. Well, technically you got to do 24 hours because you have to go Wednesday and Thursday. My voice is getting a little hoarse. I hope I didn't catch a cold going out there. with my sandals on. Knowing my luck, I probably did. I woke up super early. I hope I'm energetic for my live today. I miss going to the Pink Raspberry, and I miss hanging out with Mo. I don't know when life will ever get back to normal again. I'm starting to think there is no new normal. This is our new normal. I don't know. I don't want to believe it. But I can't see anytime soon life getting any better. I know eventually it will, because this isn't the first time a pandemic has ever happened in the world. But I never thought I'd live through one. You know, thought it'd be... Honestly, I never thought this would happen. But you get so used to the way life is, you tend to take for granted what we've got. You know what I mean? I know that the States, a lot of it is back up and running. Canada does not want to run anytime soon, as far as I know. I think some of the other provinces that have way less cases have opened up quite a bit. I think Montreal and Quebec, the province of Quebec is opening up way too fast. I think that they're going to regret their decision. And yeah, I think they're going to regret it. I honestly, truly do. But who am I? Who am I? I'm just Liz. I'm just Lizzie's World of Gems. That's all I am. I'm a nobody. I'm a nobody on this train. I just made that up. Did you like it? I'm kind of silly this morning. I'm sorry, guys. I know that. I tend to be super silly. I'm a super silly girl, and if you come to my live today and I say your name wrong, I do apologize, because I am terrible at names. I am. I truly, truly am. And I'm truly bad at placing gems down, apparently, on the wrong spots. So I decided I was going to do this thing. So when I do WIP&Chat at the end, I'm always going to show you where I leave off on that particular painting. I'll film like a 1-minute thing, and I'll show you how much I've got done. I think that's my new thing. I think that's what I'm going to do. What do you guys think? Well, I don't care what you guys think today, because I'm going to do it anyway. But in the future, what do you guys think? Because I did it last time for Bling Bling Wednesday, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm like, I think I should do that for every single WIP&Chat. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'm sorry that I have 3 WIP&Chats, but you know what? I like talking to myself, so there you go. It's gonna happen, because I'm like, what can I do for Bling Bling Wednesday? Nobody likes time lapses. So, like, what else is there to do? Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to sit here and talk your ear off. So that's what I'm gonna do. And you know what? I don't see very many WIP&Chats anymore, so I got the time. I got no life, so why not? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a WIP&Chat 3 times a week. If you haven't got enough of me, you're going to be sick of me pretty soon. But, yeah. Oh, I was watching a YouTuber yesterday, and I felt so bad for her that she put plastic on the wrong way, and she ruined her canvas from Treasure Studios Arts. And I'm like, oh, because I know they are expensive. They are expensive canvases, and I would be crying too. I would be crying if I had done that too, because they are super expensive. And I really, really want one again, and I'm gonna get one. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get a bigger one, but this time I want to get it in square. I did the round. It is a challenge. If you do order from Treasure Studio Arts, it is a little bit of a challenge because the diamonds are smaller, and to multi-place it's super hard, but the end result, the painting looks pretty. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy doing my ostrich. She was a little bit confetti heavy, but I was thinking about doing that artist again. It's Nicole something is the artist that did the ostrich, and she does other animals, and there's one of a horse that I might want to do. I'm trying to look at paintings that are like in the $49 range. So they're usually about 40 by 50s, because anything bigger, I'm looking at $78. And right now she has the shipping rate. So I'm like, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm getting a little bit of extra money. I don't know, because I wanted to buy that pool too. But when I went to Walmart website, all the pools were out of stock. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the pool now. Canadian Tire has a few, but they're more money. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I do have a headache this morning. I don't know why. I have my Timmy's. I don't know why I have a headache. I haven't heard a train. Have you guys heard a train? I haven't heard a train this morning, which I find very odd. So my neighbor did move out yesterday, and then I see he ordered pizza. I'm like, haha, you ain't got nobody to cook for you no more. Oh, I'm sorry. He kind of rubs me the wrong way. He's scary. You guys would see him and like, why do you think he's scary? He just is. You haven't heard him yell. He's, you know, a typical... Oh, there's a train. There's a train, guys. Okay, I was starting to think I wasn't in Strathroy anymore. Oh, there's the train. Here she comes. Choo-choo, coming to pick up some peoples. Take them to wherever. I don't even know if they're taking people on the train right now. I could be wrong. Oh, she's a blowing her horn, all right. She's a working it. Oh, it's just getting closer. Here she comes. Choo-choo. Makes you think of that song. Oh, that has like the choo-choo at the beginning of it. Oh, what song is that again? I forget. All aboard. Tickets, please. Make sure you're sitting in your seats when the train takes off. I don't even know. I think I've been on a train once in my life, and it was when I was in public school. We went on a trip, and it was on a train. I think the trip was going on the train. And I don't even remember it anymore. I have never been on a train before since then. Sarah and Tyler have, because there was a time that my ex-husband decided to live in Mississauga. I have no idea why he moved to Mississauga, but whatever. He lived in Mississauga there for a while with his ex-wife. And I would send the kids on the train, but I'd have to go to London to drop them off because they needed someone to watch them because they were young. And they would not drop them back off at Strathroy, even though the next stop was Strathroy, because they needed someone to watch them. I don't know. It was stupid. It happened one time where they got let off in Strathroy, and I got in trouble from the conductor because they got let off in Strathroy. And I'm like, whatever. You know how much of a pain in the ass it is to drive all the way to London when you're just coming through Strathroy anyway. So dumb. But anyway, enough griping about the train. But Sarah and Dylan did go on the train quite a bit when their dad lived in Toronto. So that didn't last long that they lived up there. Then they moved back. And they got married up there. Not technically really married because she didn't get a full divorce, so they had like a pretend wedding because they had everything booked, because I guess the divorce didn't fall through in time. I don't even remember. But anyways, they ended up getting married afterwards. They ended up splitting up for a while. You want to hear a kicker? So I was dating this guy. Remember the guy I told you I was dating? That was the pathological liar, whatever. Well, he was friends with my ex too. He was friends with my ex. That's how I met him. It was through my ex-husband while we were married. Of course, I did not date him or do anything with him while I was married. It was after, and honestly, I think I was settling with him. Like, I don't even feel remotely attracted to the man. But anyways, that's another story here or there. But anyway, when I was living with him, my ex-husband got kicked out by his ex-wife, but they weren't married just yet. And my boyfriend offered him to stay in our basement, in our townhouse. At the time, we lived in a different place. And I'm looking at him like, for real? He's like, well, we could use the extra money. He says he's going to help pay for the rent. And I'm like looking at him, because I don't even remember if Craig had a job at this point. He had quite a few jobs while we were together. And then doesn't he end up, after we split up, doesn't he end up getting a job at the pharmaceutical company I work for and work there with me for like a lot of years? But anyway, he doesn't work there anymore either, but to here nor there, it's just kind of weird that he did that. So anyway, he lived with me in the basement of my townhouse, and like he would still like call me names and stuff, and like my boyfriend wouldn't even defend me. And then I'd get mad at my boyfriend. I'm like, you're supposed to be my boyfriend and you're not even defending me to him when he's rude to me. Like, and like I was so mad. Like, I hated him living there. I'm like, why did you even offer him? And then you know what? He ends up being the best man at his wedding. And everybody in the household was invited but me and Alyssa to his wedding. He ended up getting married to her, just like a small like wedding at the church. because they already had the big reception, stupid medieval dumb reception thing that they had before that in Toronto. So they just had like the real ceremony where they actually really got married. After they, oh yeah, because they split up and then him and her got back together again. And I was like so flippin' happy. Like, get the heck out of my house. Yeah. But he doesn't think of those things. The things I did for him. You know what I mean? I'm always the bad one. Just like now, like, he's dating the 120,000th woman since he's left his second wife. And like when Sarah had the baby, that's like, when he was there, he just kept on talking about his girlfriend. Oh, this and that. Oh, she's this and that. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I just like rolling my eyes, like, to Sarah, like, does he think I care that he's with somebody? Like, I feel sorry for the lady because she doesn't know what he's all about. Like, I don't know. I don't know. He's something, all right. He's something that I don't know why I married him. Because I was young. I was 18 and foolish and wanted to think that I didn't want to live by my mom's rules. And I didn't want to go to college and go live with my aunt. Because I wanted to go to Lambton and my mom wouldn't let me go to Lambton. See, Mom? In heaven, if you had just let me go to Lambton, my whole life would have changed. I really wanted to go to Lambton College. That's in Sarnia, which is by the Detroit. Not Detroit. I'm lying. The Michigan border. Detroit is by Windsor. It's by Port Huron. If you've ever been to Michigan, you know what I'm talking about. It's a little town that connects to, well, that goes to Canada. I love going shopping there too, but I only like going shopping there when the dollar's at par. And I don't ever think I'll see the dollar at par anymore. So, boy on that. They have good restaurants there too. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Cheap to eat. But I didn't find it cheap to eat in Cape Cod. Cape Cod I found very expensive. Not like when we go to Michigan for like lunch or whatever. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. My light pad went off. I had to go pee-pee on the potty. I couldn't hold it any longer. I just had to go. So, I don't even remember what I was talking about. I was talking about depressing stuff. My ex-husband. Yeah, let's not talk about him anymore. So, to Lisa B, if she's watching, I am going to do your challenge, but I'm waiting on one thing to come in the mail that I want to show on the challenge of the crafts. I think it's 5 crafts that you're doing. I tried this craft about February of last year. I ordered it because I thought it would be something that I could take with me to the hospital when I had my surgery, that I could like work on there. And it doesn't bring a lot of, you know, pieces. But the one I bought was super hard and I didn't bring it with me. I ended up bringing, I actually bought my very first Diamond Art Club, and it was like one of those freebies you get. You just pay shipping. And it was the tree, the seasons tree. It was just a little dinky painting. I brought that with me to the hospital, and the nurses were just fascinated by it. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm diamond painting." And I think I did like, oh gosh, while I was there, I think I did like a section like this big while I was there, because I could only sit for so long in that chair. And that's when I used to do it, was sitting in the chair. And I think I even caught a couple of people's lives while I was in the hospital. I was there for like 3 days. I was there longer than a day longer because a huge ice storm happened. And, you know, I didn't want my family to have to drive all the way to London to pick me up in an ice storm. So I waited an extra day, which they were fine with it. And the nurses were just dying to get me out that day. And then the next day that I really wanted to go, they were in no hurry to let me out. And I was getting frustrated, and I'm like, geez, now that I have a ride here, you guys won't let me out of here. So yeah, that was my experience when I had my surgery. It's like, 1 minute you want me out of here so bad, the next minute, and I forget, was that the day? I think that's the day too that I had like a meltdown. I had like a huge meltdown because, first of all, I had to wear the catheter in for like a week after I left the hospital, which was annoyance, pain in the ass, I tell you. I hope to God I never have to wear one of those for the rest of my life, because it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all. So I know if you have to have it forever, they hook it up a different way, but still, it's an annoyance, and it was just terrible. And I was feeling pain, discomfort. It was just horrible. I just had a meltdown, and I hadn't had a shower that day because I kind of needed help, because I was still kind of weak and stuff and sore from the surgery, and I needed help with that darn thing in the wash. Of course, when I got home, I was able to do it by myself, but I was just having a meltdown that day. Then finally, there's like this really nice PSW that works at the hospital. She would help me, and then she came in and she helped me after my meltdown, because I was like, started bawling. I had this huge meltdown. It's like, there's only so much I can take before I just break down. And it takes a lot to get me there, but sometimes it just happens. But I don't regret having that surgery. It was the best thing I ever did. I still have problems, but they're not as bad. They're not as bad that I have to constantly, I don't have to wear anymore something to protect myself in case I leak. But I still can't like hold it in very long. But coughing, sneezing, and all that is totally gone. Like, I don't leak when I cough or sneeze anymore. As of before, it'd be like a river. And yeah, it totally brought back to feel human again, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm not old. Even though my body tends to think I am, but I'm not. At least I don't think I'm that old. And it was the best thing I ever did. And that fixed down there, and it's the best. And I'm glad he did it because it was all infected, my mesh, because I did have mesh. That was my second bladder surgery. I had 2. I had the mesh, and what ended up happening is you had your urethra. I guess they put it underneath your urethra. I don't even know because I'm not a doctor. But I guess the mesh wrapped all around it and it was all infected. And it was actually seeping through my uterus wall. So if you felt inside my uterus wall, you could feel the mesh coming through. And that is why they had to strengthen my uterus wall, because it was so thinned out from having 3 kids. And 2 of my kids were over 9 pounds. So yeah, they were biggins. They were biggins. Of course, I don't want to gross you out, especially if you're a guy listening to this. Oh my gosh, she's talking about girl stuff. Sorry. See, some of these letters aren't clear. Like, look at these E's. The E doesn't go all the way to the end, but I know it's an E. It is still super clear. But yeah. I'm not even sure how much I've talked or how long I've talked to you guys. I probably talked your ear off enough, but I think I'll let you guys go now, and I will finish this section, then I'll show you it up to date of how much I got done when I'm done this section. I'm just going to do this section, I think. Then I'm going to call it a day with this one, and I'm going to go back to my Houlihan confetti life, because that one is taking me way longer than I expected it to. Yeah, it's confetti heavy. But I'm going to pull out E, and then I'm going to let you guys go. And it's a pretty little pink. And I will see you guys next time. Till next time, everybody, take care. Bye. Well, folks, that's it for today's video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. And if you like, please subscribe to my channel. I'd be super tickle pink. And remember to hit that notification bell, and it will remind you whenever I load up a video. And till next time, take care, everyone. Bye.